What's up, everybody? This is Caesar coming straight from the underground where we're innovating. And why are we innovating? Because we're closest to the problem and stand to benefit significantly from obtaining a solution to that problem. And boy, I got a good one for you today. Have you ever wondered why your startup is failing to execute? Well, over the past few days, I've been putting together a mental model called the execution stack that is guaranteed to help your startup fulfill its promises and get things out the door on time and under budget. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, in front of you is a mental model that I put together called the execution stack framework. Now, this is a framework that allows you to be able to visualize the big picture whenever it comes to essentially getting something done. So, this is structured into three layers. Each layer feeds into each other, and this is meant to help you get aligned and be able to structure your projects and make sure that they run more efficiently. So, what does this all mean? At the highest level, you have a management framework. That's the macro aspect of your project. That's what helps create that container. That's what helps you align. And it also allows you to be able to take the first step in order to be able to get the right approach and apply the right management structure. So, for example, there's a variety of different projects that require variety of different approaches. Now, if it's a software project, now you would take a different framework. For example, you would have that plan, a discovery, design, build, test, launch framework, where if it was a standard project like some sort of implementation, you would have that initiation, plan, execute, monitor, and close. And these essentially vary whenever it comes to circumstances. And then in addition to that, you can always modify whichever management framework that you use. But this helps align the steps that you will take at the highest level and able to ensure that you're going to get the result that you want. Now, that layer down, I like to call it the macro micro section of this particular framework. That is your strategy, right? That is how you're going to get things done. And in this example, you can align your milestones and your outcomes up to the framework in order to be able to align each steps so that way you know exactly how you're going to be able to execute, what plans you're going to take, and what should be happening at any given time. And for example, if we're running a marketing project, the one that I've alluded to previously, so we would identify that pain point, we would build that funnel, we would validate, we would build a list, we would do outreach, and then we would close. These will all be critical phases that we would need to accomplish whenever we do run this project and whenever we do align the strategy correctly. Now, lastly, tactics. Tactics essentially give you an idea of what tools to use, what methods to use, and things like that. So, for example, in a marketing project, one that we have laid out here, we would think about discussing what tools that we would be able to use, like Zapier or Notion or Lemlist or things like this, in order to be able to help automate the outreach process or any of the workflows that we're doing. And as you go through this particular framework and mental model, on the right, I pointed out some questions that you should be asking yourself. For example, what framework are you going to use? What is the actual use case, or what is the exact context of the project that you're about to run? And then two, what's the execution strategy? What are those milestones? What are those key outcomes? What are the things that are going to define success? That's also important to understand in this particular framework. And then lastly, understanding what tactics you're going to use. Now, why would you use this particular execution stack? Well, it helps you stay organized, right? It helps you be able to not only see the bigger picture, but as you work down through these layers and get very pinpointed on a specific aspect of the project, you're able to really see how the dependencies and how the intricacies link back to each other. This allows you to be able to identify risks down the road. It also allows you to be able to see what resources you need to put and allocate, and then just having this specific framing and really understanding what approach you need to take in order to be able to successfully accomplish the project. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Like I mentioned, this is the execution stack framework. This will allow you to at least be able to have a mental model inside your mind whenever it comes to approaching something new. I hope this helps, guys. This is meant for entrepreneurs, innovators, and like I mentioned, out here in the underground, we're thinking differently. We're thinking about how we can frame these new mental models. How can we run projects better? How can we innovate and build better products? So, if this helps you, leave a comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.